A ratio is a comparison of two or more numbers that indicates their size in relation to each other. When writing a ratio, you can write them as fractions, in words, or with a colon. In all of these situations, every one of these would be read as 5 to 12. So when you see the fraction, that would mean 5 to 12. And when you see the colon, that also would be read as 5 to 12. So the first question asks, what is the ratio of dogs to cats? It asks for dogs first, so I need to first count how many dogs I have. I notice that I have 1, 2, 3 dogs, so dogs is 3. And now I need to know the number of cats. Well, I have 1, 2 cats, so the ratio of dogs to cats is 3 to 2. That can be written as a fraction as well, so 3 to 2 this way, or in words, 3 to 2. In all of these situations, this means that for every 3 dogs, there are 2 cats. What is the ratio of apples to the total amount of fruit? Well, I need to find out the number of apples first, so I have 1, 2, 3 apples. And then I want to know the total number of fruit. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 total pieces of fruit. So it's 3 to 8. Again, that can be written as a fraction, 3 to 8, or in words, 3 to 8. In all of these situations, 3 to 8 means that for every 3 apples, there are 8 total pieces of fruit. What is the ratio of blue marbles to green marbles? The first thing I need to find is the number of blue marbles. So when I look, I have 1, 2, 3 blue marbles. And now I need to know the number of green marbles. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 green marbles. So the ratio of blue marbles to green marbles is 3 to 10, or 3 to 10, or 3 to 10. What this means is that for every 3 blue marbles in the jar, there are 10 green marbles in the jar. If Jasmine wrote the ratio 7 to 20, what two quantities did she compare? Well, if I start by finding out what 7 means, I know that there are 3 blue marbles from the previous problem, and there are 10 green marbles, so that doesn't help me with 7. So let's look at the other color that's in the jar, which is red. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 red, which means that the 7 probably represents the number of red marbles. Now, I know that there are 7 red marbles, and there are 10 green marbles, and there are 3 blue marbles. None of those are 20. But if I look at all of these and I added them together, 7 plus 10 plus 3, I would get 20 total marbles in the jar. So if I counted all the marbles in the jar, I would know that there are 20 total, which means that the 20 probably represents the total number of marbles in the jar. Miss Scott has 16 boys in her homeroom and 12 girls. What is the ratio of girls to boys? In this case, I always need to go with what they asked me. So they asked for the ratio of girls to boys, which means girls should come first. Even though in the first part of the problem, they told me the number of boys first. I always need to look at the way that the ratio is set up. And this ratio is girls to boys. So I need to start with 12 girls, and I'm going to compare that to 16 boys. That can be written in fraction form or in words. Now, if I look at this, I notice that if I have 12 over 16, that could be simplified. And if a ratio can be simplified, we should always simplify it. I know that both 12 and 16 are divisible by 4, so I'm going to divide both of these by 4. 12 divided by 4 gives me 3, and 16 divided by 4 gives me 4. So that means that this is also equal to 3 to 4. What this means is that for every 3 girls in Miss Scott's homeroom, there are 4 boys. Malachi has 8 goldfish and 6 guppies in his fish tank. What is the ratio of guppies to the total number of fish? So I'm looking for guppies first, and I know that there are 6 guppies. And then I need to know the total number of fish. Well, if there are 8 goldfish and 6 guppies, then the total number of fish is going to be 8 plus 6, which equals 14. So the ratio of guppies to total is 6 to 14, which can be written as a fraction and can be written in words. Now again, if I look at this, I notice that this could actually be simplified. Both of these are even numbers, which means they can be divided by 2. If I do 6 divided by 2, I get 3, and if I do 14 divided by 2, I get 7. So this is also the same as saying 3 to 7. What this means is that for every 3 guppies in Malachi's fish tank, there are 7 total fish.